get you up to speed on what's been happening. When athletes, coaches, and teams find themselves under duress, they turn to the motivational powers of one man in hopes of hearing the faithful refrain that can turn their fortunes around. I believe in you. Those are the words that make this the most motivational segment in all of sports. It's Thursday at 4 o'clock. It's time for the Bud List.
Y'all like that?
Love it.
He took the humor out. It was good, though.
I'm trying to just make it more motivational.
Yeah,
motivated
that's
me.
what his goal is.
All right, and no cowboy brew. That really
No,
makes
it's just kind of, that's run its course.
All right. Well, at number 3, coach's guy, and by extension, maybe coach, C.J. Stroud. I mean, C.J., look, first let me start here, C.J. I do believe in you. I still do, but you are definitely having a sophomore slump, and that might be putting it kindly. Your numbers are down across the board, just about everything. All right, your numbers are down. You're not playing that well. Last year, you had a 100.8 passer rating. Only 3 of the 13 games this year have you even had a 100 passer rating in those games. And in the last 7, you haven't done it once. And 5 of those last 7 games, you were below 80 in your passer rating. But there is still hope. The hope is you guys still lead the AFC South. Look like you could win. You should win that division, get into the playoffs, and you play Wilds' Miami Dolphins this week. All right, it is always good when you need a victory and you're a good team. It's great to see the Dolphins because the Dolphins have enough big names, Tua, Tyreek, even Mike McDaniel, and they win enough games where people really think they're good.
They're pretty good.
Case in point. But they only beat tomato cans. You guys aren't a tomato can. You're a good team. So you beat Miami and people say, oh, like Wilds. They beat the Dolphins. They've righted the ship. And you really beat a team that's not that good, but you get credit for beating a really good team. So, CJ, go out there, get everything straightened out this week against the Dolphins. I believe in you. At number 2, Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. Both of them. And by extension, Nick Wright.
Wow.
All right, because that's his team now in the NFC. But look, it was all good just a week ago. And now it has fallen apart. Coach got it going yesterday with his J-Lo rhyme, so I had to do something too. But this is the thing. We know A.J. Brown threw, gasoline on a fire that wasn't even lit. And Sirianni, I know you didn't want any part of this, but I hope that your message to your players and your team wasn't to go to Kellen Moore and say, Kellen, let's get A.J. the ball. Air it out. Let's air it out this week against the Steelers. No, you got to stay the course. And Jalen, don't go out there. You are the leader of the team. And you have to show that you're the leader of the team by doing what has worked, which is not forcing the ball to A.J., throw it to him definitely and hit him when he's open for sure, but don't force the ball. If you guys get away from what you've done well, running the football because you want to satisfy A.J., not going to be a good look. And then for poor Nick Wright, you guys lose this game, he's going to have to pick another NFC team to win, get to the Super Bowl. He's already picked 2. And then it would be, I think he's dying to pick the Rams. He is dying to pick the Rams. True. So you might win and Nick might pick them, but still. Nick, stick with the Eagles. All right. At number 1, story of the day, story of the week, Bill Belichick. All right, first of all, congratulations. You clearly just love to coach football. If I'm 72 and got all the money in the world, and I would be traveling the world. But to each his own. You want to coach football, and hey, man, you found your passion. Go ahead and do it, so congratulations. But this is not like just some, I'm going to go down to the college level and coach a little bit. And no, there is major league pressure on you, Bill, because as great as you've been, and you clearly in the discussion for maybe right now people see you as the GOAT, you'll always be in the discussion. Clearly a first ballot Hall of Famer, let's not get crazy. But there is a stain, a blemish on your record, and that, of course, is in the 11 seasons without Tom Brady, you only had two winning records and only made the playoffs twice, had, 3 winning seasons. And then if you go down a notch, down a level to college football and don't succeed, that will be another big stain on your resume that people will take into consideration and say, is he really the GOAT? I mean, he didn't succeed without Brady. He didn't succeed in college. And what's success? I think success is getting into this year, you make some hay, you have a strong season, improve on those 6 wins from Mac Brown. Then going forward, the next season, you are in the college football playoff. And then the next season, 3 years from now, you are in the discussion and right there fighting for the national championship. Wow. That's what I think.
That
now, you fall a little. You're Bill Belichick.
3 years, you got to win the national championship in North Carolina.
He's got 6 Super Bowl rings. Look at what Deion Sanders did in Colorado. I'm just saying. Now, look, I set the bar high, so if you fall a little bit short,
how many years do you think he's going to be there? I mean,
right. You only 3 is a lot.
National championship.
In the hunt. In the hunt. Yeah. And yeah, that's so. Bill, look, I'm actually pulling for you. I'm not like a huge Belichick, but I'm pulling for you because I love greatness. But let's see. Good luck. Let's see if it works.
Another great segment.
Thank you.
I mean, the whole week I go through it, get to Thursday, it's like a cup of coffee. It's like a cup of coffee when you talk.
Cup of joy.
No, I'm surprised you didn't have A.J. Brown on it, and I love the "you must really love football" line with Bill. So congratulations again. But I'm gonna add someone to the Bud list that is Wild's favorite player these days. I'm adding Russell Wilson to the Bud list, and here's why. Here's why. I'm going to argue that this is probably the most meaningful game he's played in the last 4 years, okay, coming up. The other thing is the Steelers have not beaten the Eagles in Philadelphia since 1965.
Wow.
60 years. And in those games where they played in Philadelphia, they've been outscored 130 to 56. Okay, so there's that element to it. Now, the good news is Russell Wilson is 5-0 against the Eagles. The problem is he's going against the number 1 total defense, number 2 in passing defense, number 2 in scoring defense. So there's that component to it. And I thought, well, let me see how he did against Vic Fangio. So if we can bring that up, and remember, I did this with Lamar Jackson. Lamar had smoked Vic Fangio, and then Vic Fangio came out and shut down Lamar. Unfortunately, it's not as good for Russell Wilson. Okay, his passer rating is about 10 points lower typically. But to me, it's more the TD to turnover ratio, which is extremely high for a guy like Russell Wilson. So there's a lot riding on this game.
Yes.
You've had success, but now you're facing a really challenging defense, and you're facing a coordinator that you've had some problems with.
Good addition, Coach. So let me ask you this. If he plays poorly and they lose, would you entertain a quarterback change? I've
entertained since the beginning of all this is that they both should play to some degree every game. Because I think Justin Fields coming in for packages puts pressure on people. And I know he's come in for a play here and there.
Right.
I think
you were talking about more 50,
I'm thinking you give him
50-50.
Well, maybe it's not 50-50, but you give him enough so that you get the most out of his talents, you put pressure on other defenses, and you get the best of both those quarterbacks that have contributed in meaningful ways.
All right.
Great addition, Coach. Even though you always try to rain on the segments I do, I thought that was excellent. I also noticed there, when you were talking with the pen in your hand, gave you almost an air like you were coaching again. I think you should add that to your repertoire. Keep the pen in your hand, point to it, I like it. All right, Wilds.
Time now for the Media Ombudsman, everyone's 5th favorite segment. Maybe
it's not a segment.
6th.
It's not a segment. It's a segment within a segment. It's Bruce's segment. And again, I'm not the media ombudsman. I'm not on here critiquing John Oliver. I'm the sports media ombudsman. I keep the purview narrow. And I know what everybody's thinking. Everybody thinks they know, who I'm going to criticize this week. Aaron Rodgers for his criticism of sports media talking head shows while on a sports media talking head show. And I thought I was going to as well, until the events of the last 48 hours, where I'm going to list a lot of my favorite people in the media. Some of my most respected people in the media. One person I've even had drinks with, and one person who I think is a total clown. You guys can figure it out. and they're all on the bud list. You know why, Brew? Because how does everyone in the media who work with Bill Belichick get scooped on the Bill Belichick story? That means you, Pat McAfee, who talks to him every week. Peyton and Eli Manning, who talk to him every week. My pals Ryan Clark and Chris Long, who talk to him every week. Ocho Cinco, the whole 33rd team company. Jim Gray, everybody. You know who got the Belichick story? Ollie Connolly, who lives in Great Britain, and the kids at InsideCarolina.com. That's true. Ollie Connolly
lives in Great Britain?
Yes. Wow. Absolutely.
I thought he had boots on the ground in North Carolina.
He lived. Ollie Connolly.
Somebody hired him.
Ollie Connolly from England had this story soup to nuts. Inside Carolina then also had it. Meanwhile, everyone else way behind, doubting these people, saying, oh, we'll see, it's a leverage play, this or that. Us having real meetings. How do we put this on the bar? We don't want to be wrong. These guys had it. And then when the big boys, the professional journalists, get to the table and write their article on ESPN.com, you know, you do a control F in that article for the words Ollie Connolly, Inside Carolina. How many results you get? 0. Guys, they had it a week ago. Ollie Connolly got the Bible 3 days ago. And so, all I'm saying is this. If you're in the media and you're paying Bill Belichick to be a part of your media operation, and none of you can even get a heads up, hey, we're going to give the story to Ollie Connolly, but just make sure you embrace it. What are we doing here? So, Belichick's media partners are now former media partners. You're all under duress. I'm telling you right now, if Coach Mangini one day goes back to the NFL and some kid in France breaks the story, not us, it's mortifying.
Wow. I did
Shout
not
out to
see
Ollie
that coming.
Connolly.
I know, Ollie, my goodness, Great Britain?
Yes.
Let's get
There's
him up
gotta
to
You
be
can occasionally
connection.
hear him on Greg Rosenthal's NFL Daily podcast, and he used to do some college football recruiting stuff. He does great NFL stuff, but it's from across the pond, as they say.
I'm impressed
Good
with
job,
that.
Ollie.
What?
Yeah.
KW.
Coach, if you decide to go back to the NFL, I hope it's like a Goodwill Hunting thing. Just show up. I'm like, is Coach here today?
You can break it on our show. Break it on our show. That's the best
There
way.
you go.
Disappear.
Just across the country. Just headed to. In any event, I'm putting Deebo on the bud list.
Oh.
Deebo, can I tell you something? Content creation. I'm for it.
Okay.
I'm for it. He put out 2 tweets just saying, hey, just out of the blue. Wasn't asked a question. It wasn't like an A.J. Brown situation where he's on the spot after the game. He said, hey, everybody, not struggling at all, just not getting the ball. Several exclamation points and an emoji. Loved it. And then there was a little bit of pushback. Hey, just because I voice my opinions doesn't mean I'm hating on any of my teammates. Be for real, okay? Be for real. Well, guess who else doesn't mind it? Mr. Nothing Bothers Me, George Kittle, who said, hey, it's the same vibe as me. I'm just saying, Philadelphia, take notes. You need kind of like a George Kittle, like chill guy,
That's
crushing
who Brandon
beers after
Graham
the
thought
game.
he was. Brandon Graham thought he was being George Kittle there. It didn't work out.
Whatever. He's a good player. What am I going to do? And he's going to have a great game.
Yeah.
There's no debate, like, should they force the ball to people? He's like, I don't care. You know, he's probably going to be great. So I also think that's going to work, this sort of just more chill attitude.
A lot of
that
people
Kittle
are
has.
thinking Deebo's going to have a big game.
Yes, he probably will. And there's no consternation like in the city of brotherly love. So, Deebo, I believe in you. Also, George Kittle, I believe in you. Also, Brock, I believe in you. That's the bud list.
Thank you.
It's a great bud list.
Yeah.
You need kind of like a more punchy ending. We're kind of just.
Wilds is really, you're trying to mess with the
We're
change at the
just.
beginning. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.